A very warm welcome to IDFC First Bank Presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 11. I'm Ritwika Gupta. We are kickstarting the year with forecast interviews, deep diving into some of the big sectors. And on the show today, the focus will be on the fintech space, the big trends to look out for, and an overview of the fintech scenario in India. I'll be in conversation with Bipin Preet Singh, founder MobiKwik, to talk about the advancements that are likely to impact both consumers and businesses in this space. Listen in. A very happy new year to you, Bipin. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Bipin, I want to kick this off by reflecting on the year gone by. Could you give us an overview, provide your assessment on the fintech scenario in India, especially how it has been during 2023?
Sure. So fintech is an industry I'm in since more than 10 years, since I started MobiKwik. I think when we started MobiKwik, the term fintech wasn't there. So now, obviously, the scope of fintech has expanded quite a bit, especially in a country like India, with the success that we have seen in digital payments, with digital wallets, and of course with UPI, which is something that we all should be proud of in terms of a technology and a platform that we've created in India, which is processing billions of transactions and impacting digital lives of hundreds of millions of users. At the same time, fintech obviously deals with money, which is very near and dear and very sensitive at scale. So it's evolved from purely payments-driven, digital payments-driven, to more fintech products like digital credit, digital insurance, digital savings, digital investments, digital advisory. And effectively, I think that now people are coming to the realization that in the world of finance, technology is going to play the most important role, not an important role, but the most important role. And whether you are a bank, whether you're a non-bank, whether you're a fintech player like us, I think all these classifications are arbitrary. Eventually, everybody will have to use technology in order to have an impact in the world of finance. And so in a way, fintech has evolved, and I think it's grown up from a baby or early childhood to getting into now kind of a middle phase. There's a lot of regulatory scrutiny as well. There's, of course, a lot of support from the regulators to build this industry, from the government, from RBI, from all the different regulatory authorities. But at the same time, because the industry has grown so much, digital payments have grown so much, digital credit is growing so fast, people are buying insurance online, people are buying investment advisory online. There is now time has come where the regulators are stepping in and putting guardrails around do's and don'ts. This may be seen as friction, especially if you're a startup, but it's actually very necessary, because ultimately, like I said, money is very important, but consumer protection around money is also very important. So protecting the interests of the Indian customers is paramount. And so operating fintech in a responsible manner with a level of integrity, security, and privacy are the key things that fintechs have come to realize. Of course, there are banks and non-banks also there. So I think that's something that will be at the center stage for the next few years. It's something that everybody has realized. In addition, there is also, of course, a platform shift that is happening. And the platform shift, the last platform shift that we saw in our lifetimes was around mobile and cloud, right? So before 2010 or 2009, everybody used to use desktops, and there weren't any smartphones. And that the big platform shift of mobile came. Now we are at the cusp of a platform shift around artificial intelligence. And I believe that is, again, going to play a pivotal role in shaping fintech for the next few years. And I think many in fintech are waking up to this fact, including ourselves. So that's again another acknowledgement of how technology trends are changing and how they're going to impact our financial lives going forward.
So, Bipin, tell us, how has MobiKwik's financial performance been in the last year? As per reports, the first half saw a 58% increase in revenue and a net profit of 8 crores. What factors do you believe contributed to MobiKwik's notable performance in the past year?
So MobiKwik started off as a payments player, focusing solely on digital payments through digital wallet, UPI, merchant payments, bill payments, etc., e-commerce payments. And that business scaled up quite nicely in the last few years. But we always knew that we wanted to get into fintech as a broader level beyond payments. And that's when we started off with digital credit a few years ago. I'm very happy to report that that particular endeavor, which is almost like starting a new company within an existing company, that has paid off very well. So we are seeing huge adoption of digital credit within our own customer base, people who are using digital payments but don't have access to credit cards or don't have access to unsecured credit products from banks because of the kind of data that we have on them, on the understanding that we have on their behavior, and the data science, analytics, and ML applications that we have created. We're able to provide them access to credit via our partners, who are essentially lenders like banks and NBFCs. So that business, digital credit business, is scaled up really well, which is resulting in both growth as well as profitability. So these numbers that you see today, right now, in a quarter, we are doing more than 200 crores, 208 crores. And in the 6-month period, we're just short of 400 crores, about 385, 388 crores. These are, of course, unaudited numbers. They are a testament to the fact that we have significant growth over last few years. We have recovered from COVID. And at the same time, the business is extremely sustainable because we have achieved the final level of profitability, which is profit after tax, PAT, which is, I think, about 8 to 10 crores for the 6 months in this financial year, current financial year. So we are very bullish on the future. But at the same time, we are very careful and cautious in terms of how we want to build our business in a sustainable manner.
Sure. Bipin, I also recently read about your decision to pursue a smaller IPO for MobiKwik in 2024. Could you tell us about that?
Well, I cannot comment on that because honestly, I don't know. We want to be a public company. MobiKwik hopefully will be a listed company one day soon. But I don't have exact idea on the timelines, so I won't be able to comment on that.
Okay, sure. Bipin, you earlier spoke about technological advancements in the context of digitization and India's push towards financial inclusivity. Tell me, how are you planning to leverage these initiatives, and what specific areas are you focusing on to stay competitive?
So there is a lot of talk about financial inclusion, as you know. We really believe in it as our mission. We want to really impact the lives of people, hundreds of millions of people who don't necessarily live in big metros or big cities, but they also aspire for same kind of lifestyle or similar life or similar products that we use because they don't have easy access to banking, or high quality banking available in a physical manner. Digital is the best way that they can get access to better financial products. And that's our mission. So whether it is payments, using UPI, using any other payment mode, doing it seamlessly, whether it is digital credit via pay later products, simple pay later products, or personal loans, or for a small merchant loans, which can get deducted from their daily payment acceptance, or even people who want to generate better returns on the money that they have in their bank account, but don't necessarily have the means or the wherewithal to engage with expensive wealth advisory or financial advisory. So we are making these solutions, whether it is in payments, whether it is in digital credit, whether it is in digital investments, through data available on the MobiKwik app. And at the heart of it, ultimately, lies a lot of data, but also a lot of machine learning that we currently use in order to understand these people better at scale and advise them on what products that they should be buying or purchasing. However, the big change that is happening globally is around generative AI. And that's basically changing the way consumers and businesses interact with each other, moving away from pure transactions or pure button clicking to more easy and fluid conversations. Imagine talking to an app rather than typing or clicking buttons. And that's the future we are talking about. So that future, in my view, is going to happen in the world of finance, in the world of fintech in the next few years. It's something that is in the works. People are building different kind of new models, large language models, adapting to the variations and subtleties of Indian consumers, including language, income, their needs and aspirations. And that's something that MobiKwik is working on, and that's something that we are really excited with, which is going to be, again, a big platform shift over the next few years.
It's time for a quick break here. We'll be back shortly. Stay tuned. Welcome back to IDFC First Bank presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 11, in conversation today with Bipin Preet Singh, founder MobiKwik. How do you see the trend of Indian fintech players expanding into markets, such as Southeast Asia and the UAE? And what factors or strategies do you believe are driving this global expansion within the fintech industry?
I think it's very natural outcome. Our fintech industry is made up of really high quality players and a very high quality regulator and a very high quality ecosystem. It's probably the world's most advanced. That's what I would like to believe. So companies which are able to prove and build a business and a product in the Indian market have a very good advantage when they go to other markets which are not nearly as advanced. They may be richer markets, they may have higher per capita income, but from the fintech point of view, from a payments point of view, or other financial products point of view, they are not nearly close to where India is today. And so it's a very good opportunity for Indian fintech firms to look at markets, and especially, I would say, still emerging, developing markets in Asia and possibly Africa, where the market evolution, is still happening. So you can go and establish yourself, build solutions which are customized for that particular market, and have kind of a profit pool, which you can, of course, keep expanding and keep investing back into India.
So, Bipin, in 2023, the Indian government allocated 1,500 crore rupees for fintech and banks in its budget. What are your expectations from the upcoming union budget?
I think more than capital, while money is welcome, there is a lot of money available in both private and public markets, which believe in financial services. As you know, BFSI is one of the top sectors, even amongst the listed companies. So I don't think capital is so much a constraint. There's money across early stage, late stage companies across the spectrum. I think it's more around alignment in thinking of how the fintech ecosystem in India should evolve. And the model that we've had in India, which is of partnership of public institutions like the government or digital identity with Aadhaar or India Stack, with fintech firms and the incumbents like banks. That's a very unique model. It's also nicknamed Digital Public Infrastructure, DPI. So in my view, that's something that obviously has borne very good results in the world of payments. And that's how UPI was born and became so successful. But in other aspects of banking, whether it is credit, whether it is investment, savings, advisory, account aggregator, there's a lot that needs to be done. So my expectation from the budget would be more like, how do you incentivize and create this ecosystem where this partnership model between public institutions on one hand, fintech players on the other hand, and the balance sheet players like banks and NBFC on the third hand, that becomes more and more stronger and successful.
Looking ahead towards 2024, tell us what emerging trends are expected to play a pivotal role in shaping the future of fintech in India, and how will these advancements impact both consumers and businesses?
So there are, see, in the positive trends, I already told you about the platform shift that is happening, which is around AI. I am personally very bullish on it. I think it has a lot of promise. Of course, it has to deliver. And the promise is to reach out to people who speak different languages, who are not really financially literate. And how can you help them improve their financial lives? I think that's a very big thing that is still missing, because given where India is today in terms of penetration of payments, it's still maybe 250 million or 25 CR people who are using digital payments or UPI. There's still a long way to go to get products like digital credit or personal financial management or digital investments, digital credit, to reach out to the same level of penetration or even higher level of penetration over the next 5 to 10 years. So that's my big bet for the next few years, which is mostly around AI. The other thing to watch out for in terms of trends is around data privacy. Given that we have a data privacy law in place right now in India, fintech is going to be impacted by it in a big way. These are the guardrails I was talking about. Every industry, especially financial industry, needs guardrails because they deal with money. And because we deal with so much data, which is sensitive in nature, private in nature, it becomes very important to have a framework or a policy on how you deal with that data, and how do you, now you have a law. So you have to understand the law and interpret it and apply it. And I think that is again going to be a very big trend. Similarly, security, I think, is again a similar but a different challenge. Like cybersecurity is becoming more and more paramount, given that hackers and the threat actors are becoming stronger and smarter. In fact, one of the bad applications of AI is going to be how AI can help do more fraud, because it's of course more intelligent than at scale than a human being. So that's again something that all fintech entrepreneurs will have to think about. But there will also be opportunities around these, because each of these challenges, whether it is around how to save data in a private manner, how to secure data, will also have opportunities for startups to create big businesses. One of the verticals which I am personally also very excited by is so we've heard a lot about digital credit and growth of digital lending over the last few years, but the big emerging trend is about wealth management at scale for the masses. How do you create new products and convince masses to invest in those products? Because not every person can handle the volatility of equities, which can go up and down. So people are looking across length and breadth of country. People are looking for higher returns, higher than what you can get in a bank, but at the same time need to provide some kind of safety, and it has to be consistent returns, higher returns than bank, but consistent. So this is again a very big opportunity where there are many startups who have already started. I have personally seen many of them. And I think that's again a big trend in my view that will accelerate in the next few years.
And for entrepreneurs watching our show today, and for entrepreneurs in the fintech industry, what advice would you offer when it comes to scaling up and navigating the complexities of growth?
I can only speak from my own experience that, as entrepreneurs, we are always very excited about new products and new services and growing up. But if you have to build businesses, eventually we need to know when the business can become profitable or sustainable. So profitable doesn't necessarily mean getting real profits, but at least from a unit economics point of view, you don't keep burning money all the time on every transaction that you facilitate or every business transaction that you do. And that's a big thing that has already changed in the world. The world of capital and the world of markets and investors, they currently are not open to accepting businesses which do not have a clear business model towards getting profitable. And I think that's the big thing that has changed, which means looking at all aspects of the business, all aspects of cost, in terms of people, in terms of marketing. My advice to entrepreneurs would be in 2024 and beyond is to focus on building sustainable, profitable business. Use technology if that's your strength as much as possible, and ensure that you get there faster.
It was lovely chatting with you, Bipin. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. My pleasure.
With that, it's a wrap on this edition of IDFC First Bank Presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 11. We hope you enjoyed the conversations. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.